All right. Here we go, Holy Ones. Going live. We're going to be talking about those naughty, bad, negative, dark, fallen angels. Machiwa family. Welcome all who are coming into that awakening within thyself. Much respect. It's a great honor to be walking this path with many of you, this Christic path, as we come together in our community, Saturdays and Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it's that time, Holy Ones. What's going on in your neck of the woods? Say hello down in chat. I missed you guys. Family. Yeah, bear hug time, right? Group hug. Sorry I'm late. I just had so many things going on, but it's always better late than never because, you know, I could have passed the live, but I don't want to do that. This is my time too with you guys, so much respect. And let me just get the light going on and some incense, and we got this rolling. Got to get those Voyager's books in there. Chikas Masur. And if you guys ever have any questions, please put it in chat. And if I don't see it, Giannis, Julia, she'll get it for me. She'll forward it to me. It's a little bit there. There we go. And it's not what you think or what a lot of people think. Of course, if you're part of this Christic community, you obviously had a great idea of what are fallen angels. Basically, we're talking about beings from other worlds. Okay? And we go even into more detail. They're from other dimensions, which are other realities or levels of creation. There's many different levels of creation not talked about in your Bible. So it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. There's only 1,700 pages in the Bible, most Bible, depending on the print size. God didn't tell you everything. So don't assume, right? Yes, there's 15 dimensions in our reality, what we call the 15-dimensional time matrix. And this is where all these different levels exist. So there are many beings that are coming from these other levels of creation, visiting our world, other worlds, and some of them are coming peace, want to help or assist. They're positive. They're following the universal sacred law of one. Others are not. They're actually opposed that. They're against that. With their own free will, they choose to be anti-Christic, anti-God, anti-earth, anti-human. Basically just anti-life, anything that's alive. They want to feed off of it. They want to control it, manipulate it, have power over life, all life. They're in a competition with each other. You know, they're gangsters of a sort. They're bullies. And so that's what is a fallen angel, you guys. And their nature, they reveal their own nature by the things that they say, the things that they do. And I want to make it very clear that God, Source God, the Creator, okay, doesn't have negative qualities. That should be your first red flag if you see a God in a religion, in a belief system that is angry, that is not positive. That's a being that has spiritual issues. But you will see countless religions, most religions, being worshipped on earth are have these supposed negative quality deities, which is should be, right? It should be your first red flag, like, that doesn't seem right. Okay, so what we call religion is something that's these are control systems that are basically programming you to accept an angry, judgmental, wrathful being as God, when this is a distortion. This is a intentional scam, lie. What we call fallen angels are the ones who are actually bringing these false teachings, these false inverted principles. So what you think is God, you're worshiping God, which you don't need to do because God's within. What you think you perceive as creator is actually a negative being, a reptilian being, or Anunnaki being, or whatever type of being, race, species, claiming to be God, bringing you these false teachings, what we call false creeds. This is what these fallen beings are doing, you guys, and that's what fallen angels are all about. They are, regularly pretending to be God, regularly pretending to be good guys, and people who are into aliens, UFOs, all that, that becomes like a narrative that you need to have discernment with. A lot of people are following Viking gods, Egyptian gods, Hindu gods, Greek gods, Roman gods. They are not God, and there's no such thing as plural gods. Do you understand the definition of God? Most people do not know the definition of what is source. A singular source, a singular creator. Everything came from one being, one consciousness. So, as soon as you see gods, plural, that is a distortion. That is a lie. That is a narrative of false teachings, false light teachings of most religions that are, by the way, sexist patriarchies. Most people are divorced from that idea. They don't realize that most of the religions that they're following are sexist. They put down the woman. They devalue the divine feminine. But you would see most Christians forget that or don't think about that. I mean just Christians either, Islamists, people who are into these patriarchies, which is off balance. You see, a male deity or a female deity is distortion. It's not truth. It is inverted light, false gods. Remember, there's only one God. It doesn't have a name. It doesn't have a gender. So all of these ideas are being seeded, programmed by these fallen angels, what we call extraterrestrials. Religious people do the opposite. They call aliens demons. It's the opposite. Demons are aliens. They're not, people throw around these words that's coming from their belief, but they don't even know what the word is. Demon is a spiritual entity. These UFOs, they're not spirits. They're real, physical, tangible things. Aliens are tangible. You can't, it doesn't even fit the definition of a demon. A spiritual entity. That's like a ghost-like energy source that's malevolent. Oh, sure, they're malevolent, but they're physical. Just like you're physical or I'm physical, they could even be at different matters levels, density levels of matter. But they're not spirits. They're not beings that are invisible. You can see them, you can perceive them, you can interact with them, you can hear them, you can perceive them with your third eye. Some beings or some people are channeling these beings. You don't want to do that. This is something that's dangerous in today's world, risky and dangerous. And one thing that people don't know is they don't know the history. In these Emerald Order teachings, they bring the history. They talk about all the things that these specifically different species of Anunnaki, different races of reptilians. You know, there's trillions, capital T. There's trillions of different alien races. All kinds of reptilians, millions of different types of reptilians, thousands of different types of Anunnakis. You see, most of the multiverse are full of hybrid races. Can someone in chat tell me you can see me and hear me okay? I should have checked a long time ago. There's all kinds of races, you guys. Millions, hundreds of millions, trillions of races. Billions, I mean, trillions. We already know that there's 25 billion just in the guardian angelic nations. The positive beings. Those are representing every single one of those 25 billion. Every one of those are representing a planet, a race of beings. So that's 25 different planets, man. That's, you know, can you imagine how many planets we have just in the Milky Way galaxy? If we have trillions of galaxies, well, all of them have trillions, or, you know, maybe 1 trillion, 2 trillion, or several trillions of stars or stars, which each have a solar system, and each will have different amount of planets, which have different amounts of life. And according to the Guardians, everything is alive. And even according to the secret space program, they say there's many countless beings just in our solar system. That there's even living beings drifting in space. They don't even have to be attached to a moon or a planet. So you got all these different sources shattering the religious ideas of life, who think there's only God and only angels and only humans. It's ridiculous paradigm, man. It is a small little idea of creation. Like you're looking through a keyhole. You're trying to see the universe in a keyhole. You don't see very much in that bubble of reality. It's too small. It's too ridiculous. There's so much more life, man. There is unimaginable life. And just like we talk about aliens that are physical and tangible, these fallen angels are physical and tangible. Demons are aliens, not aliens are demons. You got it backwards. Most of religious people got things backwards. Okay, it makes a difference saying that a demon is an alien or an alien is a demon. There's a huge difference in what direction you're going. Demons have always been physical, tangible, multi-dimensional extraterrestrials. They're not spirits. They don't come just in dreams. They don't just go and possess your body. You know, aim higher. Expand your horizons, your awareness, because there's so much more to what are fallen angels, and also there's many positive angels, right? You know, they were once upon a time all positive, all living within alignment with Source Creator, not multiple gods. There wasn't multiple gods. There never is a multiple gods. There's only one God. All these different gods came later that aren't gods. Supposed gods, fake gods, ET gods. Let's just call them ET gods in quotes, because they aren't gods. There's only one God. You see? Extraterrestrial deities. Those are extraterrestrial deities that are in Greeks, in Rome's, and Incan, Mayan gods, or whatever, all kinds of gods that got, convoluted. The Mayans, the Incans, and Aztecs were once upon a time following source God, law of one. Those are guardian settlements. Just like in ancient Sumer, Mesopotamia area, those were once upon a time originally guardian settlements, angelic human settlements. We talk about the angelic humans here. Humans on earth are not the angelic humans. We come from that lineage, but we fell into a lower level. But those were originally guardian settlements when we were doing genetic hybridization with the earth seeds and the star seeds, which are still here. Indigo children are still here. Angels and fallen angels are still here, man. There's a huge spiritual war playing out on earth. Has nothing to do with Bible or religions, man. Nothing. Zero. I mean, they're not characters from the religions. Oh, they brought religions. They created religions. But it's not the fairy tales that religious people believe. Those are all distortions and lies and programs. Okay? And so many people are brainwashed in those programs. They're being kept in, drawn into a spiritual bondage because of religions. You think religions are good because they're talking about God, but what is this God in this scripture? Right? It's talking about angels. It must be good. Look at these angels. We expose these teachings. It's not about me and my personal opinions. People tell me to stop lying. I'm coming from these teachings. A huge body of knowledge called the inner Christos law of one, not raw material. Okay? The inner Christos law of one. It's not limited to earth. It's not limited to the third dimension. It's a universal truth, a universal law of one. Okay? And so it's not limited to some drama playing out on earth. Okay? There is no religions up there. There's religions on earth. And did you notice also there's over 30,000 different 30,000 different gods and goddesses. But there's over 4,000 different religions. Most of those religions have a bunch of gods in them. Some people say there's thousands of gods in the Hindu system, for example. And this is all spiritual bondage. It's not enlightenment. There's some truth, a little bitty truth here, a little bit of truth there. Most of it is lie, hoax, false light, inverted teachings, false creeds, based on fear, based on worship, based on subservience, based on disempowering you. This is what the fallen angels do. This is what the fallen angels are about because they're finite beings. They've intentionally created these systems to feed off of your kundalini. Now, some people who are in religious systems don't know what is kundalini. It's life force energy. It can be coming from a human. It can be coming from a planet. It is life force from source. The true God. But we don't, this word God, as you can see, is completely distorted. People have no idea anymore what is God. All the humans were once upon a time angelic humans. We didn't follow no freaking religions. We didn't follow and do any type of worshiping. This is all fallen angelic activity. This is them trying to feed off of your life force, which was given to you through the planet into all life. It goes through the planet's Templar chakras. And that feeds all life that are on, because we're all interconnected. All beings that are living on Earth are literally connected through our morphogenetic field. It's impossible to be separate from God. But these false religions will tell you you're separate from God and you are born in sin and you are this horrible person that you will go into an eternity separate from God in torture and agony, by the way. This is all BS, man. It's all false light teachings. This is the fallen angelic teachings. These are demonic teachings. Religions are demonic systems. You can have a relationship with God without any book, without any priest or pope or bishop or temple or any guru or priest or pastor or anything. You don't need anything between you and God. They put themselves between you and God. Now you have a middleman to God. BS, transmute that. Get that out of here. Kick that out of this world, out of this planet, out of this drama. We are transmuting religions. Bless all the people who are stuck in religions. We're trying to awaken to the truth of what is really the definition of God. It isn't anger. It isn't destruction. It isn't war. It isn't wrath. Those are all demonic qualities. Please, kindly, describe to me what is demonic. Describe to me what is demonic energies. Everything you see in Allah, everything you see in Yahweh, those are all demonic qualities. So you tell me, what is God? Is God angry and judgmental and murdering children in Egypt and casting black magic spells in ancient Egypt? What is that? Is not God. We transmute that message. We are Christic beings. Within the law of one, within our inner Christos, within omni-love, all, and recognizing that all are faces of source, all are fragments of source, all are within the unified field of source, God. There's only one God, homies, and it isn't pissed off. It is full of love for you. It is full of grace. It is full of beauty. It is absolutely 1000% God source. The real God source is 1,000,000% positive. Absolute love. Blessedness. There is no darkness, there's no anger, there's no temper, there's no judgment in God. Those are demonic, fallen, angelic gods. And that's tonight's topic. Thank you for coming to Christos Avatar, Holy Ones. Bless you and your beliefs. You can talk about Jesus in chat. You can talk about Jehovah God in chat, Yahweh, Father God in chat, but just respect our beliefs and our teachings. As soon as you're disrespectful, we have to let you go. That's understandable. If you have profanity or you're going to spam chat over and over, we have to let you go. We don't allow that. We transmute that. You can perfectly agree to disagree. You can disagree, but be respectful in your disagreement. Much love, brothers and sisters. Let me say hello to my homies. What's going on, Vato Locos? We already got the energy churning. Can you feel it? Wuchkas Masur. Blessedness. Goodness. God is good. God is absolutely positive. As soon as you see some negative qualities, oh, that's not source. That's a ET extraterrestrial, homie, claiming to be God. Know the difference. Feel it in your heart and process it in your thoughts. You will understand source. Get this fire, this flame. Chikas Masur. Let's do that spiritual hygiene, that spiritual bath. Communicate to source. Talk to God. Out loud, inside. God doesn't have a gender. God is a field of energy. God is consciousness. It is the fallen angels will say that God is a man, a male. God is Jehovah. God is Enki. God is Enlil. God is Osiris. God is, or Isis, or a goddess. God is Ishtar, no. As soon as you see negative qualities, as soon as you see gender, you know that's a false teaching. an ancient one. It's not from yesterday, you guys, or New Age. These gendered gods, you know what gender means? If your God has a gender, you know what that means? It's from the 4th dimension or the 5th or the 6th dimension. Out of 15 dimensions, out of the Kirishe, out of the Kundere. It's only in the 4th astral or the 5th archetype or the 6th celestial. That is a low-level being in the context of the time matrix. In the context of all creation, it's a very low-level being claiming to you, I'm God. You know, hey punk, they're punking you. These ETs from the 4th dimension are punking you, saying that I'm your God and I'm angry and bow to me, worship me. Because I'm the Lord, I am the King of Kings, I am your ruler, bow, subservience, feed me your fear, give me your frequency, because I need it, because I am insecure, I'm jealous, I'm insecure, don't worship other beings and go to other gods, come to me, or I'll be angry, and I'll annihilate you, I will judge you, I will wipe you out. You see? What the F is this? It is not source God, homies. Wake up, believers, Christians, Muslims, wake up. What are you following? You're following death. You're following annihilation. You're following phantom. You're following demonic energies. It's in your scripture. It's in the cult. It's in false New Age teachings. You are worshiping Inky. You're worshiping Enlil. Now I'm talking about the cultists and the New Agers. You're following the Book of Enoch. You're following Ishtar, the goddess. You see what I'm bringing out in my Anunnaki series. I'm going to show you exactly who you're worshiping. You will see it, you will feel it, or not. Because two people are blinded. And, like today, I just read, in the Voyager's books, it talks about how the Enlil Anunnaki came to Earth as gods. They're not gods. I just went through a whole half hour about that. They're not gods. They're extraterrestrials claiming to be gods, putting you into subservience, creating a bloodline on Earth. That means they take humans and they take their extraterrestrial bloodline, mix them. And now those mixed hybrid beings are now the rulers. They are the Illuminati bloodlines. They are the kings, the pharaohs, the emperors, the puppets of the extraterrestrials. They're the ones bringing you religions, creating religions. The priests are writing these religions. Billy Carson, for example, is so confident in his emerald tablets when it's the fallen angels writing the emerald tablets. It's the fallen angels and their priests and their bloodlines creating these Sumerian tablets in cuneiform texts, giving you these ancient texts, and you take them as truth because they're ancient. When it doesn't, in your mind, you're like not thinking about discernment and saying, oh, it's ancient, so it's truth. No, you still check it for the law of one. You still check it for inner Christos perspective. You still check those ancient tablets. And just as you can transmute false teachings in the New Age and religion, you can transmute the false teachings in those ancient cuneiform texts. Because you're not going to find law of one there. You're not going to find law of one in emerald tablets, homies. You're not going to find the law of one in Enoch, the book of Enoch. There's an Enoch 1, an Enoch 2, an Enoch 3, not written by Enoch. But people take it as truth. They don't even do a little bit of research. Instead, they make these comments on my videos and say, that's not right. And I have to correct them from their own ideas. Okay, first of all, that's not true, but that's not even what your book is even saying. That's not what the Book of Enoch is even saying. Book of Enoch 3, Book of Enoch 2, written by unknown authors. The Book of Enoch was written by unknown authors, saying that in it, like a biography, not a biography, as they're a narrator. Enoch did not narrate. That is not even in the age of Enoch. Enoch 2, Enoch 3 was written by religious people and scribes. And who are they serving? Most religions are based on some type of political agenda, just like the Nazarene, what do they call it? The Council of Nicaea, or the other council, have to do with these rulers, man. Roman freaking rulers are pushing a narrative, they're juggling all this shit, they're controlling people. Religions are not just being controlled by fallen angels, but they're being used in the political systems by the kings and the queens and the emperors who are these hybrid bloodlines. They're not humans. The Illuminati are not humans. The kings and queens and pharaohs are not humans. You see who's ruling? Tonight's topic of this video. What's tonight's topic? Fallen angels are ruling Earth. Extraterrestrials are ruling Earth. The kings and queens and emperors are half aliens, and they're ruling you. They're ruling your nations historically. Not just America, not just Russia. They not just recently or a few hundred years ago, but for thousands of years, man. In Human Seeding 3, tens of thousands of years they've been ruling since the days of Atlantis. They conquered and took over Atlantis, which was a guardian settlement. They conquered and took over Sumer, Akkad, Babylon. And notice how all these religions and all these ET gods that are all freaking dark and twisted, all of these things are in place. They're all in power, and they have put the human, guardian, angelic human into spiritual bondage. And now we're walking around clueless, entangled in these beliefs, man, that are anti-Christic, against source. They're bringing you pagan gods, multiple gods, councils of gods. They're bringing you galactic federation. They're bringing you these ancient texts that you take as truth when you don't even decipher it. You don't have this discernment of if it's coming from Omni Love, if it's coming from the true source creator, or it's embellishing all of these qualities of, you see in my videos how these Anunnaki treat you, what they really think about you. I told you guys when I started my Anunnaki series, I'm setting all of these Anunnaki lovers up. I'm setting them up. And now they're going to get that pull. They're going to get the thing pulled from their eyes, man. And they will either see that light or fight to be in the darkness. Fight for their angry God. Fight for their Babylonian gods, their Sumerian gods. They want to be ruled by fear and anger and this darkness. They prefer it. They're comfortable with it. Not all humans, homie. Most humans, most normal humans, not stuck in religions, want love and peace and sovereignty and freedom. These beings don't want no sovereignty and freedom. The fallen angels want chaos. The guardians themselves even talk about the path of excuse me, I gotta get some water. The path of chaos versus the path of order. Which one is your God following? Which one are you following? You see how most people want chaos? They want death. They want a sacrificed Messiah. They want to walk into their beautiful churches and see this crucified being with blood. This is what they want. This is what they are so intoxicated with. This is their whole life. And it's sad because they're not actually awakening. They're not actually evolving. They're not being saved. They're falling into phantom. They're drowning in phantom. Know the difference, holy ones. Those who are awakening and those who think they're awakening. Machiwa. And you have no idea. All you Anunnaki lovers have no idea what's coming, baby. What's coming, baby? What's up? All of that is ridiculous, fake, false, dark, twisted, distorted ideas and twisting are being transmuted into oblivion. What the guardians themselves call in the Law of One talks about unconscious oblivion. Guardians, hello, brothers and sisters, Christic brothers and sisters, we are transmuting this dark phantom energy into the unconscious oblivion. They're choosing unconscious oblivion. They're choosing to be finite. They're choosing to be vampiric. They're choosing to feed off of humanity, off of love. The ones who have frequency. They don't have the kundalini. They don't have the light body. They need to survive off of your light body. They need some of us around to survive. Father God of your Christian Bible relies on your worship, relies on your fear. This is why you're commanded to fear this ET God, not God. Transmute. Because you truly are, if you are truly awakening, you know what is God. And God is truly love. This frequency of love is not weakness. The dark side thinks it's weakness. It is true power, and it is through love. Only love, brothers and sisters, that we will heal ourselves, heal our planet, and heal the ones choosing this Christic frequency. Because when you're choosing religious frequency, you're a fallen. Benzoin. Live in that code, homies, brothers and sisters. It is undeniable. Do you want to be God, sovereign, free, which you are and always will be, and all beings are God, sovereign, free? Do you want to live in that frequency? Or do you want to be on your knees in subservience and fear? It's a no-brainer for some of us. So you realize these religious people have invested their emotions and their heart and their mind. They've invested their intellect into this. And so when something exposes their weak, feeble, distorted paradigm, they go into this dark trigger. It's almost like I'm looking for my amber. There's my amber. You guys, every single conversation that you have with a distorted idea or belief, every single distortion you come across on this three-dimensional plane, you, brother, sister, can transmute 1,000,000%. All of that truth, all of that, those answers and replies are within your direct vertical connection to source, what the universe calls your inner Christos, baby. Machiwa. Feel that true love of source. You will not feel no judgment. You will not feel jealousy. A jealous God. What the F is a jealous God? Insecure God. Oh, you better not go look into another teaching. You better not call to another God. What kind of insecure God are you worshiping? That's insecurity. Jealousy, it says God is jealous in that book. That's a spiritually unevolved person. A being in burning anger needs to go to counseling. A being who is pissed off and burning anger and wants to destroy, wants to murder, wants to put things in the lake of fire, that's a disturbed consciousness. You see how it's connected to demonic frequency? Demonic, phantom, fallen angelic. You see, their nature reveals themselves. What is their nature? Look what they're saying. Look what they're doing. They expose themselves, but apparently not to 2.5 billion Christians, apparently not to 2 billion Islamists. It doesn't, they don't get it. 1.5 billion Hindus don't get it. They just see Kali. It's okay for Kali to cannibalize humans, chop off human heads. It's okay. You're taught in Hinduism, in all these religions, you're taught to be worshiping. You're taught to worship because these beings are finite. They don't have aura. They don't have this frequency that you have as a living Christic being, angelic human. You are food. They're salivating. They need you to be worshiping them. They need you in subservience. They need you bowing and groveling and being fear and worship and admire Lord and these kings and these saviors and these emperors and these pharaohs. They need you to worship them and give you your life force, give you your permission. You gave your permission in your tenets. You gave your permission in all those things they had you say in communion. I give you permission. I am yours. Take me. Feed off of me, Lord. Jesus, God, feed off of me. This is what you're doing. This is spiritual bondage. This is death. This is not life. This is the sacrifice of life. This is the takeover. This is a military conquering. And this is not the earth. This is not Earth Awakening, homies. When you add up those billions that we just mentioned, add them up. Add all those billions of humans stuck in phantom teachings and beliefs and frequencies. Does that add up to spiritual awakening? If you're following the Epstein files, you're not awakening. You're remembering you're a starseed or an indigo. You're not awakening. Just because you're awakening when you are transmuting all of those false New Age teachings, false New Age astrology, tarot, scrying, invocating, channeling teachings. You're still not awakening when you're still caught up in those frequencies and programs, false light programs. You're not awakening, are you? You're still practicing these and connecting to these astrological, powerful symbols, man. Magical golden dawn, Aleister Crowley symbols, man. Who are you fooling? In my comments, who are you fooling? You're only fooling yourself, brother, sister. I hope you awaken to your inner Christos. And then you have that knowledge, that cognizance. It won't be a belief or a hope or a maybe. It will be a witness. It will be a testimony, man. So as long as you keep on looking into the matrix instead of here, I am God. Can you say that? Or does that feel weird to you? Is that frequency just, well, I'm not God? Right? Say it. I am God. Say this frequency. It means when you can feel it and not feel weird about it, it means you truly know God. You understand the real God source is everywhere. The religious people throw that word around and then contradict it. God is omnipresent, but not in non-believers. They contradict themselves all the time, man. That's one of their flaws. They can't stick to their truth. Because it's not truth. They can't stick to it. They can only contradict themselves. That's where you have an opportunity. As soon as they contradict themselves, there's your opportunity to engage in a loving, Christic conversation, to open their ideas, to plant a Christic seed. We're not here to change people. We're not here to save people. You see so many of these believers in religion saying, why didn't those guardians save us? They're not real. They're not real love. Because they do not understand that sovereignty. They still don't. When you see them talk that way, you see that they don't see themselves as connected to God. When they're asking for a savior, Galactic Federation's gonna save us. EI Atlas is gonna save us. Archangel Michael is going to save us. The Anunnaki are going to return. They never went anywhere. And save us. The reptilian's gonna save us. The Vatican's gonna save us. The Pope is gonna save us. Nobody is saving you. Oh, God, a real God wouldn't allow death of children, wouldn't allow these horrible things to happen. They do not understand that they're part of source. They're putting blame to somewhere else. They don't understand the distortion. So they're confused. Why God would allow, God's not allow. It has nothing to do with allowance. It has to do with you being fragmented in your sovereignty and now putting the responsibility somewhere else except here, and allowing others to feed off of them in these false light systems. This is personal karma. This is human race karma. This is planetary karma. This is universal galactic karma. It has nothing to do with some savior, some God coming to help you, rescue you. This is ancient karma, homie. You take care of your affairs, man. You take care of your energies. You Transmute all the phantom beliefs out there, all the false light teachings, all of the plural gods in the universe. Transmute all those false ET gods. You don't need no middleman between you and God, brother, sister. Nothing in between you and God. Certainly, 1000% you don't need no religion in between you and God. You 1000% don't need no Bible or scripture between you and God. You don't need a seance. You don't need rituals. You don't need gurus. Nothing, except for your inner connection and inner standing. Your inner standing, inner connection, inner vibration, inner identities. Nothing out here is going to save you. Nothing out here is going to awaken you, enlighten you, ascend you. Get that Atlas out of here. Get this galactic Fed out of here. Get this there. What? No, here. Not here. Here. Stop out here. What? A guru? A book? A video? Something's out here? No. Still. How often do you go into meditation? How often do you look inside? Close. Regulate your breath. Relax your body. How often? I'm asking you, how often did you do that this week? I don't have time to meditate. What are your priorities? What are you choosing instead of going inside then? You know, a spiritual journey is about change. Have you changed yourself lately, Holy One? Be truthful. Be honest with yourself. Are you changing your diet to a healthy diet? Are you still eating and devouring dead flesh consistently every day? That's not balance. What the hell? You're off here. Where do you think all these cancers and diseases are coming from? What are you putting into your body, into your thought? Where do you think these diseases and cancers are coming from? Well, what are you putting into your body and your thoughts? Are you responsible? Are you making changes? Are you on a spiritual journey? No? Okay, now you get it. Or no, you don't get it. You go into transformation by changing what didn't work before. You change shadow in your life, distortion in your life, physical distortions, emotional distortions, psychological, mental distortions, spiritual distortions. You do ego work, you do shadow work, you do the 12 attitudes of mastery, and there's also another list called the 12 responsibilities of mastery. That's 24. Bring that Christ consciousness into your life, into your speech, into your conversations, into your relationships. Bring unity consciousness into your hologram experience. Let go, transmute all the false gods. They're not gods. They're phantom beings devouring your frequency. That is tonight's topic. That's what fallen angels are. That's what fallen angels do. They impersonate. They pretend. They work in shadow. They work because they can't be in the light. They prefer being secretive. These Illuminati are secretive. These secret governments are secretive. Secret military, they're in the darkness for a reason. They're not out in honesty and transparency. They're the opposite of transparency. They're the opposite of light. So what are they? You can't figure out their polarity? We don't need mystery schools. You don't believe how many people have written comments about, oh, you shouldn't be teaching these
these principles or ideas, not, and you'll hear people, you'll see people say, oh, they're not ready for it. Only certain people should be knowing this knowledge.
Expose yourself, your nature, your words, your conversation, your relationships, exposing yourself. Transmute with love, bless you in your journey. That's your choice. You're choosing that. You're not coming into this boundary, what do you call it? Placing boundaries. How many boundaries have you placed this week? We need to regularly, Starseed, Indigo, brother, sister, we're a minority. Out of 8 billion humans, we're 1/10 of 1%. That's 0.001. We're a minority. So you should be doing all kinds of transmuting, placing boundaries on all kinds of people at your job, your social media, your family, your friends. You get rid of phantom from your life. You do not allow it. Eventually, you'll get to a point where you don't want those old relationships. You don't want the frequency of those old conversations. You don't even want to hang out to those places you used to be at. I don't want that frequency. I ain't allowing that frequency. You don't allow those people to creep into your space. And if you got little kids, you're responsible for who comes into their space until they're adults. Be mindful, holy ones. It's one of the 12 attitudes of mastery. And here's a very special attitude of mastery. Remember 12 attitudes of mastery, 12 responsibilities of mastery. Here's one of the 12 attitudes. Fearlessness. Be fearless, holy ones. If you live in crystal light in your thoughts, in your relationships, in your partnerships, whatever, you will be protected. Especially if you put that intention every single day, just like you put boundaries every single day, you got to, angelic human guardian indigos, you got to every single day intend protection. Because this planet is falling into phantom. It is under occupation by fallen angels. You have to regularly transmute, cleanse, purify, strengthen, protect yourself, your family, your loved ones, your children. You have to stand in that fearlessness, into that shikash mashur. Undeniable, baby. Source. The real source God of omni-love, omnipresence is truly undeniable. You know source. And you know all the imposters because they reveal themselves. They expose themselves, brothers and sisters. Just check those freaking cuneiform tablets, the emerald tablets. Just check the occult and the Golden Dawn teachings. Just check, man. They expose their nature. They can't not do that. It just happens because that's what they are. They will behave even though they work they are trying to be unseen. You see it creeping. This is why you have intuition and you feel when someone's off. Even if you don't understand it, you have a gut or you have an intuition. Pay attention to those feelings. Because those feelings will probably save your life or at least protect you from some problems or issues. You can easily just block people, transmute people, Don't have anything to do with those people. You just have control of your life. Be in control of your life. And one of the most important narcissists and psychopaths can be your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. Divorce if you have to. Do not allow it. I don't care if it's about money. Forget about the money. You get the hell away from these fallen angelic narcissists, psychopaths. You don't allow it with your children. Are you still? You're allowing your children and yourself to be exposed to these energies because of money? You walk out the freaking door. Even if you have to be homeless, you don't want to be homeless, but you don't want to be hanging around Phantom. You're using your free will. You're going along with it. You're enslaved to it now. You're allowing your children to be enslaved to that frequency, be abused by that frequency. Shame on you for that. No shame. That's not the right way, Christic way to say. What are you doing? Let me turn that into a question. What are you doing? No shame. Sorry. Chicas Masua. Machiwa. Holy ones. Let me check. Just so you guys know, I have to tell it because maybe you guys don't know it, but I'm getting a lot more people watching the lives. Maybe not during the live, but certainly the replays have doubled because of all my Facebook activity. All these people are coming from Facebook, homie. I'm getting millions of views over there, literally. Now there's millions of views happening on Instagram. If not millions, hundreds of thousands of views are regularly happening, except for YouTube and TikTok. They're taking their censorship. This is proving that it will go, but no, they have these systems in place. Their nature reveals themselves. Celine! What's up, Star Sister? Woohoo! So happy to see you, Celine. Bless you, sister. Man, she's been on an adventure. Wow. Okay. Got one donation, you guys. From Georgina, Star Sister. Thank you so much, Star Sister. Much respect. Thank you for walking this path. It's an honor. Thank you for the exchange. Bless you, sister. Gina! Woo! Gina! Star Sister! OMG, you guys are rescuing me because I lost an income on YouTube. It just wiped. They did demonetize me. They didn't put strikes on my videos. They didn't, do anything like that. But they took away the money. So, thank you guys. I'm so, this is a transition, a very difficult transition. So, thank you so much, Gina. And know that they used to take a huge chunk, 30% out of all my super chats. But now that you're sending it to me directly through PayPal, it gets all to me except for like a tiny, tiny small percent. Thank you, Gina. Woo! Yes! And this is why I'm still doing lives on YouTube instead of Facebook. Because the content, the regular content is on fire on Facebook. But the lives suck ass. That's kind of crude, but it's just deplorable, disgusting. Like 1 or 2 people. I'm like, what? Okay, I have 200,000 of subscribers on Facebook, but only one person shows up. What is Facebook doing? They're not pushing me on live. They don't push me on live. They don't want me speaking live. Because you see what I speak when I talk live. Machiwa. Gina, if you can make it, come to the it's the one retreat that's in May in Sedona. And any of you guys, come to Sedona in May. I don't have all my windows open. Because I want to give you guys the link. I'm going to give you guys the link. Because it's only, a month away now. Woohoo! Party time! What's up, homies? Yeah, baby, what's up? Yeah. So I'm getting the URL for Rise of the Guardians Conference 2026. Meet some of your other brothers and sisters. Most of us are black sheep of our families. They think we're weirdos. People are so effed up. Even though they supposedly love you, they're going to act effed up because that's their nature. They think something's wrong with you because of your awakening process, right? You guys, society demonizes spiritual energies, aliens, extraterrestrials. They think you're schizophrenic. They will call you a schizophrenic when you're having these experiences organically, naturally. This is evolved humans. Evolved humans are having telepathy, experiencing past life, multidimensional experiences, seeing energy beings, seeing energies, feeling energies. That's evolved humans. The ones that are still stuck in these negative frequencies are the ones who are not evolving themselves. They will make fools of themselves by behaving that way, by calling you a schizophrenic and being immature, like a baby child spirit. They're just little immature people. Contact. It's called Rise of the Guardians Conference, homies. Me and Julia will be there. Me and my twin flame. So we hope to see you. It's worth the journey, you guys. And it's only for 3 days. And there's something special on Sunday, so that's 4 days. But might as well stay for 5-6 days to enjoy Sedona itself. I encourage you guys, if you've never been to Sedona, there's 7 main vortices and Sedona is one of them. So you better believe the energy's off the chart. So I'm going to post that in chat again. It's being operated by our brother Rion, and so I told him that we would promote it sometimes because he invited me as a guest. So, of course, I will. I want to go to this, and I want others to enjoy it too. So, Magi Celine, yeah, of course, sister. Beyond human. I understand. I wouldn't want to drive all the way that far. I live in Nevada, so it's not that far to drive to Sedona, but it sucks for me just to go for 6-hour drive. Ugh, I don't like that either. So you're probably like 2-day drive, because you wouldn't want to do that in one shot, right? But you would want to check flights, check a flight. And just so you guys know, you can't get a flight to Sedona. You have to go to Phoenix and then get a rent-a-car or something, or get with someone else and then get the rest of the way to Sedona. I can't remember. I think it's about an hour and a half from Phoenix Airport. Don't quote me. I'm not sure, but it's around that time. But yeah, man, every single conference that I go to, it just is so freaking awesome, man. And I know all these people aren't Christic, but still, they're in their hearts. They're trying to awaken and share that awakening with the people in the world. I see a lot of distortions from the Christic point of view, but still, man, it is definitely. I'm just telling you, as your brother, it is worth going to these conferences, and they have several of these throughout the year. There's another one in Las Vegas where your brother Enuhazi, I will be speaking at in October. So please come, you guys. So much love, much respect. Let me check if Giannis posted any questions. Yeah, she did. What's up, baby? Tuesday, April 7th. Okay, thank you, baby. Also, Christos Avatar TV, the links you put in your comments do not work. Are you talking about in the description of the video? Are you talking about my shorts? I always have to tell people this. So, links do not work on the YouTube app. Let me say that again. Links do not work on the YouTube app. If you're on a laptop and a computer, wow, it works. So I'm not doing it for everybody. I'm doing it for people like me who are always using a freaking computer. I cannot stand this black magic mirror in my face. I can't stand this little tiny freaking screen. I want a big ass freaking computer and living color and speakers. What you want? Those links do not work on the YouTube app. They do work for people who are not using the YouTube app. This is exactly why I put links that don't work for you, sister. Sorry. Infoscope. Good evening, everyone. Christos Avatar exposing one of the main veiled realities that holds and has a real grip people's minds that makes them conduct themselves in distortion. You said it. You feel it. You realize it. And there's only a small percentage of humans. Remember I said 1/10 of 1%. Some people want to exaggerate that number. When that exaggerated number is including New Agers still stuck in these freaking astrology cards, tarot cards, scrying, invocating spirits, channeling spirits, or ETs. You guys, those are all fallen angelic practices. And we can agree to disagree. As you will see, even in my most recent Anunnaki videos, it is even talked about in the Book of Enoch. It's in ancient records, man, that it is these beings who brought these herbalism, all these magic systems, the occult systems. It is the fallen angels, what they call gods. They're not gods. So we can lovingly agree to disagree, but my platforms are going to be built on exposing those fallen angelic systems. And whether you're a tarot reader or an astrologer or whatever, brother, sister, you're here for a reason. So you probably disagree on that stuff, but you agree on some other things I'm talking about. We can lovingly disagree and still be friends. But there is a majority, that means most people will not agree. This is not very popular. Law of One, Inner Christos, exposing occult, exposing New Age, exposing religions is not popular. Because the popularity, the mainstream, is all pro. It's not popular. It's a small percentage of us. I expect aggression. I expect people are going to disagree and be rude because that's the nature in those systems. That's how they behave. That's how they speak. That's how they treat people in those energies, in those paradigms. I was once in that freaking energy. It wasn't until 2010 where I realized it. Your brother Enuhazi was casting magic. I was channeling spirits.
I was seeing these beings. I was feeling these beings. Man, oh man, why was I suffering? Well, gee, now I see why I was suffering. Why are you suffering? Either physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually? You know, all these witchcraft books, they teach you how to feed the spirits. Leave a little bit of alcohol. Leave some sweet candies. Oh, you're so kind, Mrs. Witch, Mr. Witch, calling yourself a white witch, or I'm into Wicca, and I'm a good priestess. I'm a good mage, a sorcerer. Following the full moon, doing new moon. You guys have no idea. Even the secret space program exposes the full moon crap. You see how those teachings and practices are not about the inner Christos. It's about something out here. It's about Jupiter. Jupiter's a freaking Greek Roman god, and you're doing your astrology charts based on these Roman gods, and you're cracking open a fortune cookie, and that's my truth. Oh, that astrology is just that they nailed it. That's me. I am a Taurus. I'm a Virgo. That's absolutely correct. That's all truth, baby. You guys, I know my energy is intense, but it gets intense. It's not anger. It is passion. And I'm not here to convince anyone. I'm not here gonna be, let's say I know you and we're talking in messaging or in real life. I'm not gonna be attacking your personal beliefs. Okay? My platform is about exposing false light teachings, whether people agree with it or not. I'm not making any apologies for that. The Guardians aren't apologizing for exposing. If you got some problem with me, it's coming straight from the Emerald Order, Melchizedek Cloister Emerald Order. They say much worse things than I'm talking about. They talk about America. What is America really? They talk about 9/11. They talk about Jehovah God, Anu Elohim. They talk about Enoch. They expose Archangel Michael. It is not, you got some problem with me. You got some problem with this huge body of knowledge. Have you read one book? Have you watched one video of the MCEO? Melchizedek Cloister Emerald Order. You got a problem with what I'm saying? Christos avatar is based on these teachings. So you got a problem with exposing your precious Metatron? It's the Emerald Order, Melchizedek Cloister Emerald Order teachings. It is the law of one. It is the guardian angelic nations exposing to the earth beings, exposing to you guys that we are under attack by these fallen angels. Tonight's topic. Because most people have no clue what is an angel. The Emerald Order reminds you what is an angel. It's a categorization of consciousness. It's a category. An angel is a category of matter density. It's not a human-looking person with wings. That is so ridiculous. It is absurdity. For many reasons, that idea, first of all, that idea is a painting from the Renaissance. Michelangelo, Da Vinci, or he's not an artist. Yeah, he's the artist. He's a mathematician. He's all kinds of. But these ideas are coming from paintings from the Renaissance. There's no pictures in the Bible of what an angel looks like. There's no pictures of what Yahweh, Father God, looks like. All your ideas, you don't even think about that. Where's my idea of an angel appearance look like? Where's it coming from? That's the first distortion. The next distortion is, why would some beings from another world, if you want to call that another dimension or another planet, doesn't matter. They're from somewhere else. Why would beings from other worlds look like a beautiful archangel, human-looking Michael? Why would they look like a beautiful Gabriel, human-looking Gabriel, a human-looking Ariel? Once again, where are you getting those descriptions from? Where are you getting those imagery from? People don't think about this stuff. So they call me a liar. And you have to correct their own belief system. Your own Bible doesn't say what the angel looks like a human with his wings and shit. You guys, most angels that are, remember, categories of density matter. They're categories of consciousness, not this. So all the beings in the fourth, fifth, sixth dimension are angels, because it's a category of carbon etheric matter density. Angels are carbon etheric entities. They're carbon etheric consciousness. That is what an angel is. An archangel is another higher category of density matter. They're not carbon at all. They're etheric matter density, silicate matter density. That is an archangel. But you got religions giving them names. They're giving them genders. You guys, that's another thing. Genders is a temporary, low-level experience. You will only experience being a male or a female for a little time, a little spiritual evolution, the lower evolution. In the lower dimensions, you will be a male or a female. In the higher dimensions, there is no gender. They're androgynous, and they're collectives of consciousness. You're an entire collective. You know, you have the personal logos, you have the super consciousness of the race logos, you have a planetary logos, you have a galactic logos, a universal logos, a cosmic logos. You ain't being a male or a female very long. You're not being an individual very long, because evolution expands and expands and expands. You become a little me to a we. As soon as you go into super consciousness, you're a 12 tribe. There's that divine number, 12. You're not just a person with a name or a penis or a vagina. Now you're a collective. Then you become androgynous. Archangels, remember that level of density matter? Those beings have no penises or vaginas. They're not gender. Now there's no more gender. You see what I'm saying? And all the beings after them, no more gender. This is why I have a big problem with some of Lisa Renee's stuff, still calling divine feminine in the higher densities. There's no females and males in the higher densities. Straight up, baby. It is spiritual science. Gender is polarization of an androgynous being. And you had to polarize into sometimes male, reincarnate sometimes as a male, and then you're going to reincarnate sometimes as the other half, the female. 6 times in the small family, in your immediate soul family. 6 times you're male and 6 times you're female. And the secret is you're both the male and the female that are merging together into their original self. We don't start here and evolve. No. We start up here already evolved and fragment. Becoming a male and a female is fragmenting. It's a low-level experience, but people are so rock hard. They're rock hard. They're just so into gender. It's so important to them.
I only align with the goddesses. I only align with the female archangels.
It's such a low vibe argument. It's such a low vibe conflict. It's a low vibrational experience. You will evolve out of gender, homies. It's going to be yesterday eventually. You're gonna, I remember when I was polarized. I remember when I was just a female or just a male instead of this full androgynous being. What do you think a twin flame really is? A soulmate really is? It's taking an androgynous DNA template and splitting it into a mostly magnetic female and mostly electric male. Okay, come together. That's who you are. You're not this. You're not this. You're together. This is what you are. Androgynous being. But people are going to still be hung up on gender. People are still going to have arguments between gender. People are still going to say God or goddess. You see, they're polarized, man. This is one of the talking points of these fallen angels. You notice how they make it sexist and say that God's a male? BS! Transmute that fallen angelic narrative. But you have billions of humans against that idea. They're oh yeah, God has a penis, God has sex because God's a male. Male is sexuality. Gender is sex. God is not based on a pronoun. God's not swinging. God is a consciousness. God doesn't have a body, man. God is not limited to manifestation. God is consciousness, energy, frequency. It is fallen angelics. It is their belief systems and religions that are humanizing God and genderizing God. And now so many billions of humans believe in some genderized version of God. They forgot. They used to remember. You know, once upon a time, we were serving the sacred universal law of one. We knew that this is just a temporary experience. I'm going to be male in this life. Next life, I'll be female. You're equal. You're the same exact number as males and females because they're parts of a whole. There's 6 males and 6 females. You can't have 7 or 8. You see how that doesn't work with transgenderism? What you think your other half of your DNA template is the same gender? It's physical, man. It's spiritual science. It's impossible. You can't have 2 masculines as in your DNA template. That's not even logic. But bless people and their choices. That's their choice. But it's a spiritual consequence. It's a spirit. You know, this is marriage, spiritual marriage, energetic marriage, bringing together the organic, natural. You were born a male for a reason. You were born a female for a reason. Your soul split that shit in 2. You're this and that and this and that. 50% of the time you'll be male. 50% of the time you'll be female. But to each their own. You're going to have bisexuals, trisexuals, all kinds of different sexes and all kinds of mixes and ideas and choices. And it's just people exploring and you know how, you know there's something called the sexual misery program. You know, these fallen angelics are using sex and gender wars as a weapon. Now people will fight over it. People are fighting over it. Not just skin color, man. They got a problem with all kinds of things. You're fighting, and you know, if you want to point the finger at some evil race, well, take a look at the human race. Look how wicked we can be. Look what we're doing to this planet. Look what we're doing to life. We're devouring life. We're killing life. Did you know in the secret space program, almost every single UFO they shoot down, They don't ask questions. They just freaking want to kill. All these people in power, they just want more weapons and more weapons. When the Blue Avians, for example, when the Guardian Alliance came to them, you know, some benevolent ETs come to the governments. They will give you defensive technologies. No, we want weapons of destruction. We want to take out our enemies. We want you to take out this secret space program. You're not? Why? Nah, we don't want to work with you. You're dismissed. There's plenty of other ETs that will give them weapons. Guardians don't interfere. Save us! They don't. They're not saviors. You save yourself. You get your own stuff in order. You stop war. You don't want war. You guys, what is war? It is death. It is phantom energy. It is the opposite of life. Guardians don't fight and weaponize and kill. What are you thinking? You know, because I made this beautiful alien life video where I said it's even about these beings evolved outside of war. People say they're weak. They're going to be conquered. Who's the most evil? Who's an evil race? Look at your consciousness. Look at your words. What are you? Look in the mirror lately? Of course we had some help. Of course we had some influence, but you're still using your God sovereign free will. You're using your divine gift of free will to judge people, to hate people, to be racist, to be, you know, all this narcissistic and sick, twisted phantom consciousness. You can't point the finger at the Anunnaki. You can't point the finger at the fallen angelic reptilians. Sedona 3688 Water. Thanks, Christos. You're the best channel out. Also, you heard of Samuel Blee? Yeah, Samuel. Samuel. You call him Samuel? Dr. Lee, Dr. Samuel Lee. Wait, are we talking about the same person? Let me double check. I don't want to get this wrong. I just noticed that Samuel, Elohim. I don't know who this is. A doctor? Oh, yeah, this is Samuel B. Lee. I don't know why I didn't recognize when he calls himself Samuel. Maybe I just Dr. Lee. Anyways, he teaches some of the Christic teachings. He talks about Voyagers. He talks about Oceana. I can't say that I agree with everything. So I'm not going to judge this brother. I love Samuel Lee. Bless him in his journey. He's making a good influence. I don't agree on everything. That's all. And I can still love him. I love him. And even if I don't agree with everything. It's the same with Ishmael Perez. I love Ishmael Perez. I just don't agree with everything. You know, I go to these conferences. I'm not going to agree with everything everyone says because people can easily check what I believe in because it's based on the inner Christos. Straight up, hardcore, inner Christos, no exception. Inner Christos law of one, inner Christos law of one, inner Christos law of one. Emerald covenant for life, baby. What's up? I'm not mixing my beliefs with other things. I discovered on my own journey. I discovered that the secret space program is aligned with a lot of things that the Guardians say in Voyager's books. They talk about the Voyager's books, man. This is freaking unbelievable. Packed with so much freaking knowledge, so much freaking, you know, there is no one doing what I'm doing with the Anunnaki. I go to here, and it says 8,600 BC, the Enlil Anunnaki came to ancient Egypt and started hybridizing, and now their hybrids became the Illuminati factions, became the kings and the queens, and now your brother's making videos about it. I'm going to do the same thing with Inky. I'm going to do the same thing with Marduk. I'm going to do the same thing with all of these people praising and worshiping Anunnaki. You're praising, worshiping Phantom, and what are you doing? Billions of humans are making these beings more stronger. You're giving them more frequency, more assets. You're making you're making Earth fall into Phantom faster. You know, I gotta say this again. They murdered angelic humans in Human Seeding 1. They murdered, wiped us out in Human Seeding 2. Humans were running for their lives, like, bugs or cockroaches. They're not. I'm just saying they were running for their lives, man. And some were taken to off-world, and many were going into the inner Earth. Okay, you with me? They murdered us in Human Seeding 1 and 2. They murdered us in Parallel Earth, man, of Human Seeding 3. This is Human Seeding 3. They're freaking in power and doing CERN. They're doing, that's what they used in Parallel Earth, man. They used the return of Jesus Christ in Parallel Earth. They conquered us through religion and CERN. And there were some surviving rebels, but they murdered those people too. That's just a reminder for all the people thinking that we're all awakening. When it's demonstrated, you're not. You see the difference. You see religion is ruling. It's in the top 10 corporations or the 300 corporations. They have these corporations that are in power, and the disclosure in the secret space program is talking about that. You call it the cabal. What is the cabal? It's not freaking humans. You talk about the Illuminati. They're not humans. You have all of these fallen angelic hybrids on Earth since days of Atlantis. So you know what that means? You have nations. You can point fingers on a map. That's a nation of fallen angelic Anunnaki. But each one of those souls, they all have the divine gift of free will to choose. Everyone has the divine gift of free will. Even fallen angels have the divine gift of free will. That's something that, religious brain will not get. They think there's no forgiveness and that you should be tortured in the lake of fire if you didn't accept the blood ritual sacrifice and consume that blood every Sunday in your church, your temple. You're eating the flesh. It's such sick, twisted teachings, man. My own family's in this garbage, in this horrible shit, man. Falling into Phantom, those people are not ascending. They're reincarnating or falling. You're not rising. You're not becoming greater. You're not growing DNA template. You're not growing the substrands. You're fragmenting DNA template. Oh, all those religious people don't open their consciousness. The heart chakra, they demonize chakras. They think that's demonic. That's their favorite word. That's a demon. That's demonic. You're being demonic. You're being possessed by demons. They're doing the opposite of opening the strands of DNA. What is that? The opposite. What's the opposite of opening chakra? You're closing consciousness. You're closing kundalini. You're cutting it off with your own free will. And there's plenty of brothers and sisters out there saying in the New Age communities, even in the Christic communities, even in the Emerald Order, some people who are following this, they're saying that we're all awakening. They have no discernment. They have no remembering the basics. What is the basics The basics. Ascension is about strands of DNA. And people are saying, oh, we're all going to be saved. Even people that I've interviewed say, oh, we're all awakening. It's happening. Once again, you guys, if you starting to look at the Epstein files, you're not awakening yet. Just because you see that there's been children being raped and people being enslaved, that doesn't make you awake. That doesn't make you ascending. That doesn't grow ascension. DNA strands. It's about the chakras, homies. It's about what are you doing with your heart chakra? What are you doing with the throat chakra? Do you feel it? Have you gone on plant medicine or gone into meditation or have you just felt the crown? Have you felt your third eye? No? Well, now you know where you stand in your spiritual awakening or the lack of it. You can't ascend. You can't. You're not going to ascend to fourth dimension without 5 strands. Dude, really? 5 strands? When most humans, you will hear Voyagers telling you will hear Speaker 1 Ashana Dean tell you, most humans only have 2.5 or 3.5 strands. But you literally need, inner Earth is 4.5 strands. So that's the lowest best option. 4.5 strands. Okay, so you can actually ascend with 4.5 strands. Because that takes you to inner Earth. And I hear secret space program people, even my brother Emery Smith talking about inner Earth. He doesn't know what is inner Earth, man. It's not in the crust of the Earth. It's not in Earth. It's not in this timeline. It's in another dimension. So there's all kinds of confusion about stuff like that. So to get to inner Earth within what? I think it's 5,300 AD. It's around that AD period. That's thousands of years in the future. Okay? This planetary cycle doesn't even go to that year period. It goes to like 4,200 AD. Around that. I don't know the exact number. But so it doesn't go to inner Earth, man. So you literally need to go somewhere in ascension. The lowest amount you need is 4.5, but most humans are only 2 or 3.5. They're not even close. They're lifetimes away. And you will hear Ashana saying it, and you will hear the Voyager's book saying it. This is the last round. This is the final conflict. This is the final conflict. There will not be a human seeding 4. Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. Okay, that was all your choices. You lived 12 lifetimes. 12 lifetimes, 12 lifetimes. You spent all those lifetimes and you couldn't get the shit in order. You couldn't grow your heart chakra and a little bit to the throat. Like this is the heart and this is the throat. Remember, this is 4th strand. This is 5 strand. You need between here and up. Not even just the heart chakra. Remember, that's only 4 strand. You need 4.5 on your way up to get, because that's where inner Earth is. Dimension 3.5. You always need 1 strand higher than that. 4.5. You need 3.5 to get to inner Earth. But you don't want to go to inner Earth. You want to go to Tara. That's 5 strands. You need 5 strands to go to 5D. 6 strands. 6D. 7 strands. 7D. 8 strands. You know, it's not even complicated. But people saying that whatever Atlas is, Atlas, what does that got to do with DNA? Do you see people talking about Merkaba? You know, which is related to your chakras. This is the 4th Merkaba. This is the 5th Merkaba. The 6th Merkaba. Do you even know what a Merkaba is? Do you even know what a chakra is? You see what I'm saying? It's a spiritual science. It's based on consciousness. And normally, if it wasn't a spiritual war, you could organically, naturally just go there. And you would just be living in a civilization within the law of one. And people would just naturally be loving, not in conflict. The conflict came from the fallen angels. It came from these intruder races. I don't call them intruder. Guardians call them intruder. Over and over and over again, the intruder races. The fallen angelic races. The intruders. They're intruding on our planet. They're intruding on our angelic human population. They came in Sumer. They came in Atlantis. They came in Lemuria. What trailed behind them? Death and destruction and cataclysm. We had a cataclysm in Lemuria. They went to Lemuria. They had a cataclysm in Atlantis. They went to Atlantis. They went to Babylon. They went to Sumer. They went to Assyria, Akkad. They went to Jerusalem. They went into Solomon's bloodline, Abraham's bloodline. It ain't freaking guardian bloodlines, man. You see, I told you earlier, you can point at a map and show a fallen angelic nations. But remember, nobody judges, and the guardians don't judge. But you realize that they have the divine gift of free will. They can choose to go outside that bloodline because they're half human. They're half ET, and their soul essence is ET, but still they're half human. They have the divine gift of free will. They don't have to follow Allah. They don't have to follow Yahweh or Anunnaki or reptilian. They can choose. Historically, there has been many people or races of Anunnaki, Luciferian, Pleiadians. There's been Enlil Anunnaki who have went to the Guardians for host matrix healing. Historically, even the notorious Anu Elohim, the most despicable, diabolical beings who are Metatron. All you Metatron lovers, they are the darkest. Metatron's the freaking darkest, man. They're the original Anu Elohim, the original Father God, not the original, the still existing Father God. And you see the qualities, the nature exposes itself. Boy, oh boy, does this being truly expose itself. When I look at my beautiful family and they fall for it, where's your heart? Where's your mind? You don't feel it? You just accept it? I don't understand. How is that your truth? What's happened? It's very upsetting, right? You're like an angel and want to help and heal, and then they just choose. They choose reincarnation. Oh boy. You're going to reincarnate in this hell? It's all going to get worse and worse. We went through cataclysm after cataclysm. We went into dark ages, and we're still in Roman Empire occupation. No, we're not. Yes, you are. The Illuminati are still ruling you. No, they're not. Yes, they are. They're your presidents. They're your CEOs. Even the secret space program talks about the space program being controlled by corporations. That's what the Cabal is. That's what the Jehovah Anunnaki are. But these people, even in the SSP, don't see the grand scheme. They just see it depart. It's compartmentalized. That means it's in compartments. You know, you can't see what's in the other compartment. They don't all see the great picture. When you're in your inner Christos, holy ones, you see Machiwa. Christina McMahon. I won't see your last name, sorry. Christina, bless you, sister. Thank you so much. I like your little comment. Love. Love you too, sweetheart. Omni love. Unconditional love. Guardian love. Christic love. What's up? Joseph Lawrence. I have a membership over at YouTube for the Oceana video series 15. Oh yeah, they're on Patreon. Patreon's the same as YouTube, except you can't do super chat. But you can't do super chat anyways anymore because they demonetize me. So yeah, that's what I've been asking you guys. I've been asking you to switch to go if you want to support my work, because I survive off of your guys' assistance. You know, this is my full-time job. This is my full-time job. I have, wow. I have to use a calculator, you know. Well, actually, it's opening the personal computer. I have 121,000 YouTube subscribers. 121,000. Plus 146,000 Instagram subscribers. No, 246,000. 246,000. Plus 183,000 TikTok. Plus 211,000 Facebook. That's 761,000 subscribers. But I don't get paid on Facebook. It's like pennies. They give me pennies. I made, for example, I made 300,000 views and they only gave me like $1. If I did that on YouTube, man, that would be serious, reliable income. But nothing's reliable like YouTube. It's just crumbs. This is why I have I could survive. I can only survive on Patreon now. Memberships. Even though I have 700, I'm going to get close to 1 million soon. I would say within 6 months, I'll be at 1 million subscribers. But they're not all helping me survive, you guys, because not everyone's a member. There's only less than 50 members. And a lot of those are $5 members, you know, most of them. I'm happy. I'm very grateful because I can still survive at a meager level. I'm surviving. I hope I survive. I don't know what month 3 is going to be. I know this month I'm covered. Next month I should be covered. What's going to happen, you know, especially... You know, this is an attack on the Guardians. I see it. Some of the other Guardians say if they keep you, struggling with income, they attack you, they censor you, because they don't want this message out. They're part of the program. They're part of the fallen angelics, the corporations, the cabal. It's about censorship. It's in the kings, the queens, the emperors, the popes, the Vatican. It's all the Illuminati. It's all these forces. Keeping you, they want you quiet and subdued and disempowered. So you're struggling with income, even though you got 761,000 homies. You see what I'm saying? Please, brothers and sisters, please come to Patreon and support this work. help your brother survive, or it will become part-time. So I'll be forced to work at, who knows, work at some small job and less videos, less teaching, less Christic frequency. I don't think it's going to go there. I believe this channel will be protected enough, but, I'm really asking you guys for your help. Thank you so much, brother. What's really interesting is, just a month ago, I only had 60,000 Facebook subscribers. And all of a sudden I made all these Anunnaki videos. Holy cow. What is that? 160, that's like 150,000 new subscribers, man. No. Yeah, more than that. Close to 200, almost 200. It'll be 200,000 new subscribers eventually. It's crazy. It's just crazy. It's a journey. The things are accelerating, but we're still struggling. And it's not just me. I see other people in the family struggling financially. They want you struggling so you can't do what you need to do. They make it harder and more difficult when you struggle financially. It certainly isn't my frequency. My frequency is kicking ass with freaking knowledge and energy and content. There's no problems there. But there's an attack. There's a spiritual war, and you see it out in the open. Another message from Infoscope. So in order to get out the male and female aspect, you must ascend. Well, it's not get them out. No, that's not what I meant. But thanks. The good question though. He's asking. So in order to get out of the male and female aspect, you must ascend. Otherwise, you descend and stay in the male and female aspect. Is that correct? Okay, so technically that's partially true, but it's not bad to be male or female. There's part of our consciousness that is here that we're trying to, go on a spiritual journey, go into the omni-loving, heart-centered consciousness, develop unity in your life, in your relationships, in your conversations, bring that Christ consciousness into this life, and go into literal lifestyle of eating healthy, doing techniques with your chakras. These teachings have I'm not even teaching you all the advanced stuff. You guys are encouraged to go study those. Ashiana is an excellent teacher, man. She breaks it down. It's the most advanced ascension on the teaching. I can't do better than that. So this is why you want to go into the Kathara biospiritual healing, and you will learn how to activate your chakras. You're not going to do it through New Age. You know what? New Age tells you a 7 chakra system. You already see a huge red flag. BS! What is that? That's chump change. That's not even half of your consciousness. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, we see what you're doing. You ain't gonna get chakra work done in New Age. As a matter of fact, in New Age, they're gonna teach you a reverse Merkaba spin. And the Voyager's books tells you exactly the reverse Merkaba spin, man. I forgot what chapter is in, but it's in here. They tell you the exact reverse Merkaba that you're being taught in New Age. It's not your friend. So, don't get wrapped up in the male-female thing. That was one of the main things I was stressing, brother. You don't want to be worried about getting out of male and getting out of female. You are a male here, so you be a male. You are a female, so be a female. But the spiritual journey is awakening your consciousness, and learning about these ancient, the teachings, learning about these mechanics Learn energy mechanics. That's the key. The energy mechanics are going to be focus on running an awakening, because this stuff is dormant in the human DNA template. It's sleeping. Even the mainstream scientists see it. They labeled it junk. And I don't think that's accidental. They don't want you looking at junk, which is actually literally diamond sun DNA. They will tell you you're double helix. What the F? What the F is 2 strands? That's freaking animal. Literally, animals are 2-strand beings. And they're trying to tell you you're 2-strand? BS. It ain't junk. It's 12 strands. Remember that divine number 12. Don't forget. How could you forget 12? 12, 12, 12. Divine number 12. Easy to remember. 12. Okay? 12 strands. It's very interesting because I hear Emery Smith, one of my favorite whistleblowers, secret space program whistleblowers, talking about how they see in the secret space program, in science, not mainstream earth science, the real science, they see, wow, why is human DNA in all of the extraterrestrials they have found? Wow, that's very complexing. Why do all these ETs have human DNA? Well, if you learn to the Voyagers books, and by the way, brother, I want to ask you, have you read Voyagers? I encourage you to read Voyagers 1, Voyagers 2, and Angelic Realities. You don't have to buy these books. You can download the PDFs. That's our moderators that put those in the. I gotta wrap it up, you guys. But you guys, you will learn if you can figure that out on your own. Why do all ET races have human DNA? It's not exactly accurate, but sort of accurate. The angelic human DNA template represents all the founder races' DNA. Literally, blue flame, gold flame, violet flame. That's where all ET races coming from. You have a whole bunch of ETs coming from the Elohai, blue flame. You have a bunch of Seraphite, gold flame races, and then the rest are violet flame races. Well, humans have both gold flame, blue flame, violet flame. So it looks like that's all human DNA. It's not exactly human DNA. It's founder race DNA that's in the human guardian. We were designed as guardians to have access codes to the stargates. We're literally created to be guardians of the Amente stargates. You see Amente? Secrets of Amente? We're created to be Stargate guardians, man. Why? Because the Stargates are prized, man. They want control of the highway. I'm not talking portals. Even the secret space program doesn't know the difference. I heard Emery Smith, bless you, brother. I love you, brother. He called that, what did he call it? He called it, what's it called? Like media, pop. Oh, he called it pop culture just because it's a movie. Dude, it's not pop culture. The Guardians call them star gates. A star is a sun. There's stargates. There's gates in the planets, in suns, stars, and in people. It's not pop culture, brother. I can't wait to talk to him and exchange ideas, right? Now I lost track of everything I was saying, and I was trying to help answer my brother here, but then oh my gosh. oh yeah, why there's human DNA in all the ETs? It's not it's that this ET is maybe a blue flame, and so some of that blue flame is in the humans. Maybe this ET, like reptilians, insectoids, dinoids, avians, races, all those DNA strands, well, they have gold flame, and that's in the human DNA. But it doesn't mean they all have human DNA. It just means they have gold flame DNA, and this race has violet flame DNA, and this race has blue flame DNA. But it will show up in the humans because we have gold flame, violet flame, blue flame. Because we're a guardian race. We're not better. We're never, law of one, inner Christos, no one's intrinsically better. We're all equal. We're all fragments of source. It's that this is a guardian because of war. They didn't need guardians. I mean, yeah, like the Azarites, guardians. Security. Azarite, we're guardian security. Humans are guardian security. Of the Stargates are these fallen angels want access to go anywhere in the time matrix, man. And according to Ashiana, some of those gates that are connected to the Amenti Stargates that take you into the Metagalactic Core Stargates, and those gates, so they will get access to those gates to go into other time matrices. Take their fallen angelic freaking domination and murdering and conquering into other time matrices? No, I don't think so. So they created a guardian race that's supposed to be us. Why do you think we're under attack by fallen angels, by malevolent ETs? They want us out of the way. We're in their way. They want us disempowered. They want us forgetting who we are. Now humans are groveling to these make-believe extraterrestrial gods. Machiwa. Beyond human media, what about platforms like Kick? I haven't checked them out. Yeah, but TikTok, you can't monetize video views on TikTok. As far as I know, they're not paying you, and if they do pay you, it certainly ain't gonna be like YouTube, right? But I'll check that out. I've never heard of Kick. And also that would mean starting all over from nothing, right? Of course, I could forward a lot of my content there, but I'll check it out. Thank you for the tip. I haven't heard of Kick. And so, you guys, I want to ask one more time. You guys, please donate. I put the donation link. Because I have to wrap it up. It's almost 9 p.m. For some of you, it's already 10 or 11, right? You guys, I put the donation link. Please support this work. This is my honor. This is my service to all of you to bring these teachings in living color. I create videos. I create pictures of these beings. I'm exposing these beings. I am exposing New Age. I'm exposing the occult and magic Wiccan systems and religious systems. This is the Guardians doing, and this is what I'm doing. I'm one of these guardians. A lot of you will realize you are a starseed, brother, sister. You are an incarnating indigo child. You are the Guardian Alliance. You are the Emerald Order. We are the CDT plates. We are the Christic Flame. We are the flame holders, flame speakers. Bless you, brothers and sisters. Thank you guys for holding space with us today. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you to my, it's mostly women. I guess the women are awakening more than the men. I don't know. It's, women moderators, women donators, not only, but mostly, right? So anyways, thank you to my twin flame, Giannis, Julia. Thank you to all of you regulars coming to these videos regularly. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. I'll be here Tuesday, and I hope some of you will make it to the event that I keep sharing to you in Sedona. And there's going to be other events. There's going to be the Las Vegas event. There's going to be maybe Contact in the Desert at the end of May. If I can afford it, I'll try to go. I don't know if I'll be able to, but that's another event. There's all kinds of events. I'm talking to our sister Dara Akasha. She might want to do some co-creating in Sedona too. So you guys just have to commit to this lifestyle and meeting your family. Meet your family in real life, not just on a computer screen. Thank you guys so much. Shaddai Ure Akuntan. 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 I am Christos. I am Christos. I am Christos. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. Blessings to all of you walking the Christic path. All humans awakening, trying to awaken, trying to heal. Be strong, you guys. Fearlessness. Go on a spiritual journey. Go through changes in your diet, in your lifestyle, in your relationships. Make changes in your conversations. Be Christic. Be loving. Bring in that Christ consciousness. Bring in unity, baby, into your life. Much respect to all of you in your journey. I'll see you guys on Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Machiwa. It just feels good, man. It feels good. It feels right. You feel it. You resonate. What's up, spiritual gangsters? Yeah.